Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to Whispers in a Bottle, Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays, pre-show, post-show, excuse me, getting a little excited ahead of myself. But today is just been a beautiful day. So welcome to the post-show of Whispers in a Bottle, Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays. My name is Sonya LaRae. I'm a lifestyle relationship counselor, educator, fashion psychologist, motivational speaker and holistic health and wellness consultant. And I'm so excited. We just actually closed out our show on blogtalkradio.com/whispers in a bottle at 3 p.m. with such a powerful discussion. And I have to tell you guys, this discussion actually started to take shape and take legs during our pre show. And if you're not following us on the pre show, you need to get on there because literally we're on the Wisdom app. And that starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Wisdom app. And if you us, you could actually literally send us the word wisdom on our Instagram page located at whispers in a bottle _podcast. Because I'm telling you, the pre-show, as I tell everybody, is the appetizer. And it really gets you primed up and ready to go for our main discussion, our main course over there on Blog Talk Radio at 3 p.m. at blogtalkradio.com/whispers in a bottle. So today's discussion was all about learning from mistakes. And I have to tell you, it started off on a high note from even just the meaning of the two words that we got in our discussion. And I love to start every discussion off with a clear meaning and understanding. So today I'm going to do the exact same thing here. I'm going to give you the meaning of learn. And we learned that meant to gain or acquire knowledge or skill. And then we also learned about mistake. And that's what we're really going to lean into this afternoon here on our fabulous YouTube channel is mistake. Judgment that is misguided or wrong or an error or a fault. That's what a mistake means. And mistake also is something that is done not on purpose. Okay? So literally, I think a lot of times when I built this discussion and what I was thinking when I was building this discussion is what did I want to lean in on each segment? What could I bring into a topic so it would resonate and it would be different on each of the platforms? Because I'm not someone who really likes to go and regurgitate the exact same thing each and every time. So here today, right here on YouTube. And so make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow here on YouTube because we really would love to have you be a part of our community. And also, if you have not subscribed to our news journal, our weekly journal, which is the Whispers Exchange, please make sure that you subscribe. There's a live link in the description box as well as a link that's in the comments already. I put a link in both places for you. So this way you can really, get into it. So today I wanted to kind of like speak in on like this area of mistake. Okay? So I even have notes that I came well equipped with for today's after discussion. So the dessert is going to be just delicious. So whatever your favorite dessert is, that's what we're serving here today for you. So the area I want to lean into with regards to how embracing mistakes can lead us on that pathway to success and to the pathway of triumphs over trials. One of the main areas and key areas that we have to look into and lean into is that perfectionism. And a lot of times, as people, we get caught up in that, unfortunately. And it's true, we really do. And, you know, perfectionism is like the elusive goal. It's like constantly chasing after the wind. So, literally, perfectionism is if you went outside right now to go and capture the wind. You know you would not be able to do it. You know that it's something that you cannot literally hold on to or even have power of. So, many of you all have flown kites before, and you know that you have to get a good updraft for your kite to go and take off, and that you have to really be able to stabilize and to get that kite under control once it gets that updraft and it gets caught up in that wind. But it has to be just so for it to really happen or take place. See, when we struggle or we have that elevation of thought of that perfectionism, unfortunately, it's like chasing the wind, trying to bottle the wind. So I want us to consider this, that most of the world's greatest innovators, most of them, have all made mistakes. They all have actually run into different trials along their journey to their greatness. And, in last week's discussion, we spoke about failure. And a lot of times people really are connected between failure and mistake. They connect those. And that's not the case because mistakes sometimes happen. It's just inevitable. We all make mistakes. But even J.K. Rowling, who is, this profound writer, and everybody knows her because of the book Harry Potter. But she stated how she made several mistakes, even allowing others to know about certain sequels of the book or prequels of the book. And then lo and behold, it got, exposed before it was time. But she said she also learned from certain aspects of those mistakes that she made along the way that really kind of changed and pivoted things that helped her to have a learning curve because she took those mistakes and learned from them and used them as her stepping stone into her greatness. And allowing that perfectionism to be let go of and not to hold it on as something that she had to build upon because that was an unrealistic expectation. See, perfectionism can really paralyze us. And like I said, I'm going to refer to my notes because I really want to lean in, and we're not here that long together. So I have to take every opportunity to really lean into this discussion. So perfectionism can really paralyze us, and it even can make us afraid of taking risk, taking opportunities, or even using the master keys that we got in today's episode, of really being able to use them as teaching tools, lessons for us to step into our greatness. Lessons that we can take away and not continue to make the same errors, the same mistakes, and that it becomes habit. So, releasing perfectionism allows us to then be able to grow and to use those mistakes in the right way and release the negative connotation around that element and that word of mistake. So, one thing that I wanted to really kind of shift on and I wanted us to think about is that we have to be willing to pivot our thought process. We have to be willing to change the way that we look at certain elements in our lives. So I know that for me, um, the growth aspect is so important. And sometimes I have to really try things out to see if it would really work. And so I even do test studies inside of the practice, inside of my agency, to see if it will work and to see how it will resonate and how it goes about. And sometimes there are mistakes and sometimes there's errors inside of that, but it allows me to grow from that aspect. So we as people cannot be afraid to really start to test out certain elements inside of the mistakes that we make, that we can let go of that perfectionism, or we can let go of the moment that we feel that we have to be just so. Because that just so will keep us constantly tethered to a negative connotation. So remember last week we said that failure is only a negative because of what we attach to it. Mistake is the same way. It can be a positive or it can be a negative depending on how we as people attach words to that meaning or that word or what it is. Are we willing to tap into and attach a positive to it where, oh, I've made a mistake. Now let me reflect on this and let me see how I can change, pivot, and move towards the destination that I want. What do I need to extract from this moment? See, we have to be willing to sit and ask ourselves that. And a lot of times, as people, we don't want to do that. We just want to cover it up and see if nobody saw us. Have you ever noticed, like, if somebody trips or if they're outside walking and they stumble, the first thing they do is they look around to see if anybody saw them? It's because they're so embarrassed or, humiliated. But you realize that any of us can trip or any of us can stumble. So it's not that you've done something that's so ridiculous. You should first of all make sure that you're okay, that you haven't injured anything. But because you're trying so hard to save face, you're not even acknowledging, did I pull my back? Did I wrench anything? And so we as people have to be willing to kind of step back and step in to that space and place of reasoning, giving ourselves self compassion. That was a powerful key in today's discussion. Now, if you missed the discussion, if you missed the main, meal, like the entree was just très magnifique. I mean, just so good that you need to go back over and pick it up and ingest it totally. Because the master keys in that discussion today were just on point. And I mean, every time that we think that we are moving in a certain direction or we're doing certain things, we have to be willing to learn. And I think as people, that's how we actually become better people. That's how we become better at certain things. We are just so trying to be so everything to everyone that we're nothing to ourselves. So, in turn, if we're willing to give ourselves grace, if we're willing to give ourselves self compassion, oh my goodness, we will be incredible. Because one thing, when we learn from our mistakes, they teach us valuable lessons. They teach us how to keep showing up and how to show up in our best every single time. Whispers, I love having discussions like this. And I love really working with clients and helping them to understand that these are the needed stepping stones to our greatness. These are the things that keep us flourishing. Because when we make mistakes and we can acknowledge them, but then we can sit in a space and place of analyzing and reflecting, it is powerful. And I think so many times as people were always so quick to try to put up a front. But sometimes you got to stop fronting. And, I hear constantly, oh, you got to fake it till you make it. Well, no, because you can keep faking it and never make it. And when we make mistakes, but we're pretending that there was no mistake there, we're pretending that it didn't happen, or we don't acknowledge, or we don't try to learn or pick it up and change the curve, the trajectory, or anything like that. How do you get to step in to that next possibility? How do you take that and pivot it and turn it into something great? You can't. You literally can't. So it requires that we shift our perspective. There was like this little animation that they had out before. Now, I don't remember exactly, but the gentleman said, "Oh, you need a little perspective." And he put like a teaspoon of like whatever it was, but the word perspective was on it. And it was like he stirred it up in the cup. But that's what it makes me think of when I have discussions like that, is that we do as people, we need a little perspective. We need to be willing to kind of, sit back and understand certain things. We need to be willing to, go and look at things in a certain aspect, a certain light, because we always want to keep growing. We want to always, evolve as a person. So it behooves us to do so. So, like I said, all these different little discussions in our after show is literally the dessert to our main topic. So please, if you didn't get to hear the live discussion today, go back over to whispersinabottle.com/whispers in a bottle, blogtalkradio.com/whispers in a bottle, and listen to the replay, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Go back and hear what I had to say during this discussion. It's really powerful. It's shifting mindsets. It's giving you a different perspective on how to view certain things that even trip us up or make us feel like we're falling or not succeeding. I want you in this time, because right now we're close to the end of this year. Literally, just as a broadcasting note to you all, next week is our show before our fall break. And so we will be on hiatus for 2 weeks. So you won't see us November 17th through the 24th, but we'll be back December 1st. Can you believe it? Already. So in this time, right here at the end of the year, I'd love for you to sit in a space and place of reflection. I'd love for you to sit in a space and place of really looking over your journey throughout this year. Because I guarantee you, you have done some dynamic things that you have not acknowledged. And so, in turn, you haven't even celebrated your micro wins that will give you your milestones. So, learning from our mistakes can even teach us how to be present in the moment so we can keep growing. So, this is just a quick little post show that I get to pour into and to build upon and to really connect with you all. Don't forget that you can always connect with us. We're always here. If you have questions that you would like to write in and have me answer, you can write in at asksonyalarae@yahoo.com. It's right on the screen. So if you email to this email address, literally subscribe to the weekly newsletter, which is in the description box as well as in the comments. You will see your answer or your reply inside of our beautiful weekly journal, because I answer letters that come in and I feature them in there all the time. So it'll be great to connect with you. And don't forget that you can always connect with us over on Instagram at whispersinabottle_podcast, because we're over there doing some dynamic things as well. And it's always so good to be able to pour into everyone and to connect with you all in such a beautiful way. And then we have our pre-show at 1 o'clock on the Wisdom app. And if you're not on Wisdom and you want to be on Wisdom, send us a DM on Instagram, just the word wisdom, and we will send you an invitation to join us over there as well. So, guys, you have been listening here, right here on YouTube. Please make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe to our channel. But make sure you share this message with someone that may need to hear it, that may need the encouragement, because that is what community does. It empowers, it uplifts, and it also helps us to keep on growing and flowing. So you have been here on Whispers in a Bottle, Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays, the post show. I am your host, Sonya LaRae. I'm a lifestyle relationship counselor, fashion psychologist, holistic health and wellness consultant, and motivational speaker. And I'm always glad to be your host on Whispers in a Bottle, Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays. That's live every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at blogtalkradio.com/whispers in a bottle. I can't wait for us to connect again next week in our safe zone right here in the Whisperers Lounge. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Be safe, stay warm, and check on your loved ones. All right, take care.